Award-winning South African music producer Sanele Sintole, better known as Sun L Musician, is gearing up to release his sophomore album to the world and beyond. 3 years ago today, he released his debut album, Africa to the World, to rave reviews, and he hopes to repeat that success with his new 31-track album, which boasts features from Pan-African stars like Niniola from Nigeria and Sauti Sol from Kenya. Award-winning South African music producer Sanele Sithole, aka Sun L, popularly called Sun L, released his debut album Africa to the World to rave reviews 3 years ago, and he's hoping to repeat that success with his sophomore album The World and Beyond. The 31-track album features Pan-African stars like Afro House songstress Niniola from Nigeria and Sauti Sol from Kenya. Sun L speaks about the experience of putting together an album with about 26 collaborators online when he was used to having fellow artists vibing off each other in his studio before the lockdown.
On this album, I have like 26 collaborators, which was very hard working under the pandemic situation. Everything was just virtual, emails, in and out, songs got lost. Certain final versions are not on the final album, but it's only me who knows that, But it's beautiful. It's out there. People are really loving it. I'm getting so much positive feedback from it, and it's amazing. It's amazing. It's just been a very stressful but beautiful project.
He writes and produces music and is a wizard on the decks. He may already be a household name in house and dance music circles in South Africa and beyond, but Sun L, as he is popularly called, says he is still discovering all the things he can do with his music.
My music is a fusion of just genres, but the whole base of it is dance music. That's how I would describe it, but then I'll call it the elbow sound because it's non-existent. Nothing is like that. So I'm able to take gospel into dance, Zulu folk music, you name it. I can basically take anything and just fuse it with that. So, but the base has always just been house. But now, house is a little restrictive, so I'd rather go for dance, which is more open.
Sun L spent several years working to get his own music on the airwaves, but then in 2017, he dropped the first single to his upcoming debut album, Africa to the World.
It's so complex, but it's so simple. The melodies are so easy, but it's basically a song just talking about being broke, and I relate to that because at that particular time I didn't have money whatsoever, so it was so easy for me to just relate to that and really push the message across, and it worked out.
The song was Akana Mali featuring headlining singer Something Soweto. And from then, everything changed. Its dominance on the charts at the time translated into commercial success and a bigger audience. Soulful singer Simi is signed up to Sun L's label, L World Music.
It's so great when you meet someone and they want to get to know you as an individual first. It was okay, upomapi, what you grew up listening to, so that by the time nisebenza, you guys understand each other, not just sitting down and being like, okay, as a producer, this is what I do. It's always a matter of meeting halfway, 50-50. So he will just interview you, find out who you are, and then move to the music side and be like, okay, music, what do you love? And right now, if I would play this, what would you say? So it's really an adventure. It's interesting, and you learn so many things at the same time while working with him.
The challenge? South Africa and many other countries were under lockdown, and Sun L musicians tried and tested methods of getting up close and personal with other musicians as they co-create. Sun L says he also uses his social media platforms to share his music videos, get feedback on the album, and address issues close to his heart. Despite organizing virtual concerts and looking for other ways to diversify, Sun L says it's an uphill battle because the authorities usually crack down on their sector first.
That's another sad part about us. We are always at the bottom of the food chain. So it's not really about what we can do. It's all about how the government and the presidential people, everyone in there making all those decisions for us in a way, because we are the first guys to be chopped off work. Every time there's a penalty, hey, chop The artists, no performance, no gatherings. That's us. That's just us, just being chopped off completely out of the system. So it's really tough for me to really say anything about that, because it really requires people to be in a particular space, and this virus, it works best when there's a lot of people in that in one space.
He says it's impossible to predict at this time whether mass vaccinations would bring back live events at their previous scale.